Adding and subtracting fractions involves making a common denominator or common size fraction pieces, because otherwise we cannot count or add and subtract these fractions from each other. So to do this, we need to get a common denominator, and you need to show me the multiplying factors involved. So first of all, we have to establish what is going to be the common denominator here. So if 2 and 5, we want the lowest common multiple, which in this case will be 10. So once we establish the common denominator, you need to show me the multiplying factor of 5 here to get the equivalent fraction, 5/10, minus, here we need a multiplier of 2 to get 2/10. So again, make sure you show these multipliers to give the common denominators. Once we have the common denominator, we can now subtract the numerators because these count the number of pieces we have. These are the size of pieces, so we have the same size piece. So we can take from 5, we can take away 2 1/10 pieces, and we end up with 3/10. Here the common denominator is going to be 15. The lowest common multiple of the denominators is 15. So we only need to multiply the right-hand fraction by 5 in the denominator and the numerator. Make sure you show the multiplying factors. You need to show both in the top and bottom. You can't use one for both because that doesn't work. Okay, if we just multiply this by 5, we're not going to multiply top and bottom, and that's something important to make sure you don't never do. If you do this, okay, that's wrong because it implies you're only multiplying the numerator. So you have to show times 5 on the top and times 5 on the bottom. That gives us 4/15 plus 10 over 15. Now the fraction pieces are the same size, so we can now add them together. We have for these 1/15, 10 of the 1/15, we have a total of 14 1/15 pieces. Here we're going to multiply by 6 on top and bottom. Here we're going to multiply by 5 on top and bottom. We get 6/30, which is same as 1/5, 5/30, which is same as 1/6, and we end up with 1/30. Here the lowest common denominator is going to be 24. So we multiply by 4, multiply by 3. Again, show both the numerator and denominator multipliers. Show the fraction with a common denominator. Once you have the common denominator, the denominator again doesn't change because now we have the same size pieces. So when we add, we don't change the size of the pieces, but we can count the numerators together. So we end up with 13 1/24 pieces. Okay, we had 9 here, 1/24 pieces. We had 4 1/24 pieces here. So the numerator counts the number of pieces. The denominator tells you how big the pieces are, so we can count the numerators together. Common denominator here is 12, so we need to multiply top and bottom by 3 on the right hand side, by 4 on the left hand side. So again, now we have the same size pieces. This is counting the number of pieces, so we're going to have 11 pieces, and the size of pieces stays the same. We have 1/12 pieces. Here the common denominator is 10, so my multiplier is 2 just for the left-hand fraction. So 8/10 minus 3/10. Now we have the same size pieces. We have 8, and we're going to take away 3, so we're left with 5 1/10 pieces. And this one here, we can just leave it at, but this is also, there is an equivalent fraction that is reduced form of this. 5/10 is equal to 1/2. And when we can, we try to reduce fractions, and that's a good general rule. When possible, you should reduce fractions.